Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Good morning, Rockingham, and welcome to the feed. Here we are on October 30th, the day before Halloween. It's amazingly warm. I keep thinking in the day you put all your coat and everything on to go out trick-or-treating today. I think they're going to have to wear Hawaiian shirts and
So too.
Bermuda shorts and go out that way. But it's a nice day. Got tomorrow is Halloween. Got any plans?
I actually am going to be leading the daycare children around the building to do their. I'm doing what you used to do.
Yeah, that was
leading
one of my
the
favorite things.
Daycare children around the building for trick or treating. I have my costume ready.
Woo! Is it
Yeah.
going to be a surprise?
No, it's not going to be very elaborate.
Oh, well, but
But
it
there
will
are
be a surprise.
some places people can go tomorrow for hauntings if they're looking
Oh,
for haunted
yeah.
houses. Vermont Academy
Okay.
is doing a haunted house, and the fire station is doing a haunted house. So those are good places, locales. I'm assuming they probably are kid-friendly haunted houses.
The Bellows Falls Fire Department, I think, is doing it's sort of kid-friendly, but I know they worked over the weekend blacking out the whole place
Oh,
and
wow.
they spent several hours. I was trying to get over there, but I didn't get in, so
Good.
it's going to be a surprise.
Well, that'll be good. I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody that participated in the chili and chowder cook-off this past weekend. It was there was a good turnout. Rainey and I were out in front of Edward Jones. We were selling birdseed wreaths for Rotary. We saw a lot of people. A lot of people were out and about. And kudos to the winners were, for the chowder, it was Jamaican Jewels, and for the chili, it was Halliday's. It was Justin's Maple Bacon Chili.
Yeah, and there's a clip on Fact TV on YouTube that has all of
the
has Marty on it with Marty and Bill. If you haven't seen Marty and Bill together, you can see them there. And then
that's worth going to the clip.
I know you want to go to YouTube, check it out. It's the chili and chowder cook-off.
And also just reminding everybody that this is the last weekend for Main Street Art's Secret Garden. It's going to be on Friday and Saturday, actually Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tickets are still available. You can go to mainstreetarts.org to get tickets, or my guess is you could probably get tickets at the door. I don't think they're selling out. So if you're nervous that you don't want to buy the tickets, but last minute you decide you want to go, I bet you can show up and get tickets.
Okay, that's great.
It's well worth it. It's a wonderful performance.
And today, for a guest, we have Sarah Campbell. Hello.
Welcome.
Hello,
Thank
Marty
you for
and Mike.
coming on.
Now you all had a chowder and chili cook-off too. so
We
yours
did,
went well.
and I was just racking my brains to remember who won. We did not. A newcomer, and it's a gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he does our pig buckets at the end. And he bought the farm that's up on Ski Bowl Road.
Oh, really?
He won and then Taylor Excavating won
Nice.
in the commercial division.
interesting.
And we had also a tremendous turnout. The weather was
The weather is beautiful.
Yeah, it was
perfect.
really nice.
And I think we had 15 or 16 chili vendors.
That's nice.
And it's a great day if anyone's ever interested in. It's a long-standing tradition, 30 years in Saxons River, of a nice afternoon, inexpensive lunch given to a great charity, the Saxons River Rec Soccer Program, which is totally funded
Yeah,
through
through
the
that too, yeah.
community.
So, the person who won it, did they have a restaurant or did they?
No, Taylor Excavating.
No.
They don't. I'm assuming they excavate.
Yeah, I meant the other person. You said there was a person that lived.
He's
He was just a
he's
citizen.
a farmer.
Yeah.
And he's at the Bellows Falls Farmers Market every week.
Oh, okay.
And he sells the inn, actually, it's one of those very much local circles. He sells us vegetables and also does our pig buckets for us.
Wow, that's pretty
Because you
cool.
may or may not know that in the state of Vermont, you're required, if you're a commercial restaurant, to either pig bucket or compost.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a little known but interesting
Yeah.
fact. Good thing to talk about.
And there is actually someone from the state who checks on you.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. So if you're having, you could actually have some really high quality bacon in Saxon's River because they're getting it from the inn.
Well, in the inn and several other restaurants, which is great.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know he is quite the root, and there are a couple people who do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a lovely circle.
Yeah, and actually didn't know that. It's
Yeah.
an interesting, little known but interesting but nice fact. That
Yeah.
It's not just going into a landfill or it's being used.
Right, and I know we're struggling. Vermont very definitely is having laws about food waste and what we're all going to be expected to do in the next couple of years. And I think commercial is far ahead of that,
Yeah.
mostly due to our pig farmers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because it's
interesting.
a lot easier to do pig buckets than compost.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And
And it's more productive, I think.
Yeah, it
It's
just
more,
feels
it's more of that
feels-
circle that you were talking
yeah,
about.
feels
It's a
better.
circle,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. But we didn't come here today to talk about pig buckets or chili festivals. We came to talk about another charity that you're heading up, that you're leading, that it's going to take
Well,
place.
I'm the head of the board, so I'm not sure if I'm leading it. Lisa Pilcher is there every day, and Pitcher, and does a tremendous job with her staff. But our largest and most renowned fundraiser of the year is the Empty Bowl, which happens the first Sunday of every November at Allison's Orchard. It's a wonderful event. It's I like to say it's a party for about 150, 165 people.
Right.
We get a really great crew out. It's very definitely a fundraiser.
And
Tickets
it's a fundraiser for
our place,
That's
drop-in center, and food shelf. And a very important part of our community, and something that our community supports incredibly generously. So it's November 3rd, begins bright and early at 5 o'clock because it's the first day of
Yes,
Fall
that's the
back,
hardest
right?
part.
yes. Oh my goodness. And then the Patriots game is at 8:30. So we have a very
You have all this
You
all
always-
plotted out.
we
yeah.
have very definitive what needs to happen. We are very definitely scheduled, and we're very fortunate that Bill Stevens is our auctioneer for the second year. I think second or third, but
It's the
he's
second.
second,
Yeah.
and he is wonderful. He immediately said yes when I scurried up to him following last year's success and said, could you be a part of this again? And so he brings a light and lively touch to the evening. And people have been working for months to have it be a successful evening. And it's really, I can't emphasize what a great social event it is. And, you know, one of the wonderful things about this fundraiser is if you've bought a ticket, you've already contributed to the fundraiser, and that's wonderful. So if you come, there's no pressure to be part of the silent auction or the live auction, except to laugh at those who are. The local things that people give are interesting and fun. You know, Matt Stickney, I think he's probably, I was going to say 5th generation Vermont farmer, but I think it's
Probably more.
about 8th. You know, I said to him, hey, Matt, could I get some maple syrup for the empty bowl? And he was like, how much do you want? And I said, whatever you'd like to give me. You know, he shows up with a half gallon of syrup. And that's a wonderful gift to us. One, because people always buy the maple syrup.
Yeah. Well,
It's wonderful. Vermont maple syrup is infinitely better, even though our auction takes place in New Hampshire. We profoundly know that it's, you know, the best there is in the nation. And I grew up making maple syrup in our yard. We had a tiny little evaporator. And so I think that kind of connection helps increase the prices of these things.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you
definitely does.
definitely get value, but this isn't someplace to come and think you're going to get a half gallon of maple syrup for $10 because
Yeah.
our community is so generous.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you also have glasses, hand
Oh
painted
my
glasses.
goodness, the artists have been, are always, and I happen to, what I brought was literally what I've had to accumulate for the auction. Chris Sherwin, who's one of our local wonderful glass artists, is doing, I don't know what he's doing this year.
He usually does pumpkins. Is
He
it-
usually,
is it something different?
I've heard a rumor that he's not doing pumpkins, But that's really up to him, his generosity. I bought them 2 years ago, and they're right now on the mantelpiece again.
I know,
And
they're
they're
so neat, aren't they?
wonderful conversation piece for our guests.
Whatever he does will be amazing.
Yes,
You know
and then the other glass artist who works in the same studios as him, or it's TSUGA. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Saga.
Yeah, there's a
Saga
beautiful clear yellow glass bowl with a orange rim that's just gorgeous. And then Delamano.
Those are beautiful.
Those are always popular.
Yeah.
Kathy does a beautiful job.
Kathy does such a lovely job, and these are the birch with the cardinal, which are lovely and seasonal. 2 beautiful stemless wine glasses.
And I think that's her most popular print, too.
Yes, that's my understanding.
It's not like that she was giving you the one that doesn't sell. She's giving you the
No.
one of the most popular.
Smartly,
This is
the
it.
artists,
Yeah.
we tend to get some
The
of the
ones.
best of the best because they know how many people are going to see it.
Yeah.
And it's, hopefully it's marketing for them as well. And just
Sure.
if someone's not aware that they're out there, I mean, she does such gorgeous things, and her glasses are available at the River Artisans in the square. So it's a nice, if someone gets these and then wants 6, very easy to park in free parking, Bellows Falls.
Exactly.
And which you guys probably don't know, used to be part of the advertising for the square for shopping.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
And even earlier than that, Stanley Adams and Saxon's River, who owned the hardware store, Fuller Hardware, advertised, because when Bellows Falls had meters, he advertised it as free parking in Saxon's River.
That's funny.
a little.
Little but known.
little
rivalry.
known fact.
Looks like you have some nice
But
jewelry
who's
as well.
And
story is that?
then this is someone who's very near and dear to my own heart. My sister, Margaret, who is an artist and does polymer clay.
Oh.
And so she creates, I'm going to read what she says. To create my designs, I roll, cut, shape, slice, and sand the polymer clay. They are not painted, drawn, or silk screened. This one-of-a-kind art is 100% polymer clay.
Wow.
And handmade in New Hampshire, which is okay.
So is that just that? And you may not know. Is that fired then, or does that dry?
It does get fired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it gets put in an oven.
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. It's somehow.
It's not
heated.
kiln.
Yeah.
And then, so that's an earring and bracelet set, and this is her global warming
Oh wow.
set, which is a beautiful sort of rainbow pendant.
Almost rainforest.
And
like, yeah.
yes, and I think you could probably make that into a pin. That's also a pendant and
Mhm.
earrings.
Beautiful.
Very lucky to have people in my family who I can
So it's good to have family to tap into.
tap into.
I don't know what order you want to go in. but
Yeah.
Do you want to go to
well,
this?
let's have that, because that's been contributed
This
by
is amazing.
Dr. Vern Temple, and that's Brazilian cherry
Brazilian cherry legs.
eggs and curly maple top,
Oh,
which is
beautiful.
Isn't
just
that something?
gorgeous.
Oh,
You
I
probably
got the
can't, as
reflection
you say,
going
yeah, you
here.
can't. the
No, you
reflection,
can't. There you go,
but
And I don't think you can really understand how beautiful this is.
Yeah.
And Vern does something every year for the Empty Bowl.
it's something different every year.
And something
Yeah.
different, and
beautiful.
always beautiful,
And it even-
handcrafted.
This is going to sound strange, but it even smells good. it really does. It
That is a
smells like
little
new
odd,
wood.
Mike, but
Well, if you work with wood, then you
Yeah.
might
Yeah,
appreciate-
right,
it just smells
smells.
like something like the wood shop. It's
Yeah.
really great.
and how fortunate are we to have people like Vern who,
Yeah.
there are a couple people, Vern, Pat Fowler, who are the first people you go when you're organizing the Empty Bowl, and you say, would you be able to contribute this year?
Mhm,
Because they immediately say yes, and that gets you off to a good start.
Right,
good
yeah,
start. So Pat Fowler, the Village Booksellers, has donated a couple different. I'm not the one who picked them up, but a couple different sets of things for the auction. And again, downtown, Bellows Falls Merchants, the Rockin' Hammers, famous or infamous Silver Spoon every year.
Mm-hmm.
Pam specifically goes out and looks during the summer for when she's out gathering silver
Mhm, mhm.
for something to do a really unique and beautiful spoon. and that's always a highly sought after item.
You have a lot of things that are tradition.
Yes.
The empty bowl.
Yeah.
Which is, so people come back every year.
Yeah.
And a lot of the auction items.
Yeah, including the Coda and Coda Empty Bowl gift certificate, which is usually a highlight of the auction in terms
Yeah.
of warmth and merriment.
Right.
So it's a gift of warmth for 150 gallons of fuel oil or propane gas. And the intent, Coda and Coda has this wonderful gift of warmth program. And so you can certainly win this and call up Coda and Coda and ask them to deliver you the fuel oil or propane gas. But the
one of the
intent
other-
of this program is that you purchase it and then you
Give it to a needy individual, yeah.
or
a person
organization,
yeah.
or and last year's winner of this, it came in incredibly handy. There was a family, local family, both parents working, struggling a little bit, and a lot of local programs. We've such that tough winter last year that just seemed to go
Yeah.
on forever.
Right.
And I think people difficult to budget for, and so at our place, we were trying to figure out how to help this family, and all of a sudden someone said, "What about the gift of warmth?" And Coda and Coda and I arranged for this family to receive this, and this was the letter the recipient wrote was really wonderful about
nice.
how much it meant
Yeah.
to them, and so it's a perfect opportunity to be very generous to two organizations or to an organization individual. And then the Grafton Inn always, I call Angela Comstock, and she's always like, so what kind of soup? And of course we'll do the gift certificate. So we have a gift certificate for one night at the Grafton Inn, and I believe they're doing a tomato bisque soup this year.
So, just in case people aren't clear on what the empty bowl dinner is and what the significance of the bowl is, can you just speak a little bit to
Sure.
that about the whole concept behind it and why you get a bowl?
Yeah. So this was started, and Louise Luring would be much better at this, but I believe in Milwaukee or Minnesota. And the intent was to have a very modest dinner as a fundraiser for either a food shelf or a drop-in shelter. And to say, so much of our world has an empty bowl. And it's fairly easy to fill it. Doesn't take a lot of effort. And so this concept has spread like wildfire. And there are different incarnations. So Putney Empty Bowl, for instance, is just the dinner. They have 2 seatings. They do over 400 people. And they actually use the bowl that they receive.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
At our Empty Bowl, we're really fortunate that many artists, Vermont Academy students, local potters, contribute the bowls, and when you come in, you select your bowl. And so there are very highly prized bowls that are very highly prized by certain individuals who are at the door at 5:05.
I've been there early, and I know. And Louise does not let you take it until the bell tolls.
Nor should she. But so the event rolls out that you walk in, and Hugh and Betty Haggerty are there to welcome you and give you your auction number and take your ticket or take your money for your ticket. And there are hors d'oeuvres, again, very generously donated by our local community. Every bit of food is donated. Our place doesn't buy anything to put this dinner on. Actually, I think we purchased sterno. And so this year we're having an artichoke dip that's being donated and prepared by a middle school group.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So at the Bellows Middle School, and hummus and vegetables donated by Wonder Bar. We're doing cheese dips with the Grafton cheeses and dips with Holiday dips.
Holiday dips, yeah.
So Vermont Academy is donating salad. They also are one of our sponsors. and they donate the chafing dishes, the linens. They have 2 advisory groups who are going to show up at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. I think
And
tough for a bunch of teenagers rolling out of
On the first day
bed.
of
Yes,
roll back the
yeah.
clock, too.
Rolling out of bed, and they come and they set up all the tables, and they literally physically set all the tables up, and then set the tables. And then one of my absolute favorite parts of this dinner, and I think Marty can.
Is the West African peanut soup?
Well, that is going to be there.
Because that question has been asked.
Yes,
Okay.
it will very definitely be there. Is the Kern Hatton kids are
They
our
serve.
waiters, they're our servers. And they do such a great job. They take it so
They
seriously.
do take it seriously.
Super seriously,
They're very
because if
cute.
you have not finished your salad by the time they come around to get it, your fork is in the midair.
Yeah, they're funny.
They've
They're
been
cute.
given a job and they're doing it. But so you come in, you have the hors d'oeuvres, you have a chance to peruse the silent auction items. Then we all sit down and Lisa Pitcher and I get the evening started, and Bill quickly takes over. So my intent is just to thank everyone, and then Bill does the live auction, which we really try to keep to about 20 items, so that we're not, so that people do get time to be social,
Yeah,
and the fun and frivolity can begin.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to have some fun and frivolity around a very serious topic.
It is a serious topic, and I think also the intent of the bowl was so that when you bring the bowl home, it just reminds you,
reminds you,
gives you
Right.
a reminder
Yeah,
that maybe not everybody is as fortunate.
right.
You have a bag over there, and there's
I-
a story behind this
I
bag.
do. I have this padded envelope, which came to me last week.
It's like
Just
the
in the
brown,
mail.
the plain brown paper
Paper.
bag.
No paper in it. And I had months ago written to the Boston Red Sox and asked them that they have a form you fill out, and you have to certify that you're a 501c3 charity. And they said, eventually they got back to me and said, we'll be sending you a baseball. So this baseball,
A signed
Sure,
baseball.
signed
Yes.
baseball by Eduardo Rodriguez, number 57, I'm pretty sure, showed up in my mailbox. And at first I was like, ooh, I got a package. Who's that from? Thinking,
Oh, someone sent me a baseball.
yeah. And then I was like, it's a baseball. It's literally, and I had to think for a moment, and I did remember that I had requested this. But I think it's so funny. I will include a copy of the email that says
Yeah.
we're getting it
Because
from
Red Sox
Odessa.
fans could really be a good
Yeah.
fundraiser for.
Yeah, and very generous of a local sporting team, national sporting team, I should
Yeah.
say. Stratton Mountain Foundation. I sent them an email in August. They sent me an email back about 2 days later and sent us 4 day passes to Stratton.
Wow,
Nice.
that's where. Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
is that worth something? You
Yeah.
know, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at this year's prices, but I think they're
That's close to $500, I think.
yeah.
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 Definitely.
So incredibly generous of them. And then, to carry on the sporting theme of Vermont Academy, is donating either 2 hours of hockey rink time, which, as we all
That's
know,
another thing that's pretty.
that can be pricey, or 5 hours at the Chivers Center, which is named for our
Yeah,
local ski
yeah.
legend Warren Chivers, and very long time teacher at Vermont Academy and local community member, for an event, and it holds up to about 75 people.
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
location.
it's
The
amazing.
view from the Chivers Center is just stunning.
Beautiful, this fireplace, and
Yeah.
it's just set up well for events.
Yeah. And they're also sending a little swag bag, so you get like a mug and a Vermont Academy bag.
Yeah. Before, we're running out of time.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. But we want to talk a little bit about the inn. What's happening at the inn this fall? Before.
Well, October is wrapping up rapidly.
Yeah, we're almost through fall. And
So
into,
we have been partnering with Vermont Wagyu, Spring Rock Farm, which is on the border of Springfield and Rockingham,
Yeah.
thus the name. And Sheila Patinkin is the farmer there, and produces, I think it's considered the second or third best herd of full blood
Right.
Nice.
Wagyu
I know
in the
they
United
won
States.
a bunch of prizes.
Yes, and they sell to restaurants all over, but they sell to very high-end restaurants in New York and Boston. And we're lucky enough to partner with them so that they don't sell to us, so we can affordably sell it to our local group. We do a Wagyu and Vermont sausage meatballs, and we do we're doing osso buco, a very sort of Mediterranean braised, long roasted beef shanks with soft polenta and a roasted tomato broth with roasted olives. It's really outstanding.
Yeah.
And then we do have on the menu right now, there Spring Rock Farms beef ribeye, 16 ounce, bargain priced at $100.
Yeah.
If you were to have that in New York City or Boston, it would be about $175.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And we brought our signature maple creme brulee.
All right.
Our signature dessert available pretty much always.
That's great.
For you and Marty to dive into.
We should probably reiterate, just for the folks about the dinner, that the Empty Bowl dinner is this Sunday, November 3rd. Doors open at 5, correct? Promptly. 5 to 7:30, Allison's Orchards, $40 per person. And you can get tickets. They are available at the Village Square Booksellers. They're available at our place, and they're available at Galloway Real Estate across the river.
All right.
Because you actually get quite a large crowd from the Walpole area,
Yeah,
too.
We
sure.
we very generously supported, including Florentine Films,
You get a
who
nice
sent
group.
us an amazing country music package.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
that's just
Nice.
out too.
Ooh,
That's-
little
yeah,
teaser,
nice,
little
Yeah.
teaser
nice.
there.
There's a
Signed.
good teaser. All right. Well, that's all we have time for this week, Bellows Falls. Next week we're not sure what we're
We're
going to
not
be
sure. It'll
talking
be a
about.
surprise.
It's going to be a surprise week. The first week in November always is a surprise. Anyway,
Thanks,
thank you so
Sarah.
much for coming on, Sarah.
Oh,
and I hope you'll come on again and
I
when
would
we
love
have more
to.
time.
Yeah, and thank you so much for promoting the Empty Bowl, such an important part of our community social program and fundraiser.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you. That's
See
it.
you next week,
See you next
community.
week.
That's it, folks, for the feed. Be sure to catch us every Wednesdays at 7:30 a.m. Also, find us on Facebook at Fact TV or tell us what you think. thefeed8@gmail.com. And don't forget to watch the feed online at www.fact8.com.